So last week, Rusty and I put out our first video together, and honestly, the response was great. People were commenting, sharing their thoughts, and a lot of you said the same thing. You said, "That's exactly how I feel. I'm skeptical too, but I want to believe this is real." And then I got a message from Rusty.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it.
So share with everyone what you said.
I said, I think I'm done. I think this whole online income thing is just not for me, and I should probably just go back to watching Netflix and stop pretending I'm going to build something.
1 week in.
Yep, that's right. 1 weekend?
And here's the thing, I didn't laugh at him because I've been exactly where Rusty was, and I'd bet a lot of you watching this right now have been there too, or you're there right now. So today, that's what we're talking about, the part nobody puts in their thumbnail. Okay, so walk me through it. What actually happened in week 1 that made you want to quit?
Where do I start? Okay, so first I tried to set up that account we talked about. Took me 40 minutes to find the right button. 40 minutes, Carl. My grandson could have done it in 30 seconds.
Okay,
Then I watched 3 more videos trying to figure out what I was supposed to do next, and every single one of them contradicted the last one. This guy says, do this first. That guy says, no, do that first. This woman says, forget all of that and start over here. I didn't know which end was up.
information overload.
Complete overload. And then after all of that, after spending basically my whole evening on this, I had made exactly $0. Zero! And I thought, what am I doing? I'm a grown adult sitting here clicking around the internet at night like I'm going to suddenly become some kind of internet businessman. It felt ridiculous.
Did it feel embarrassing?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, who am I to think I can do this?
Okay, so I want to stop right there because what Rusty just described, the confusion, the information overload, the $0 after a full evening of effort, and that quiet little voice saying, "Who do you think you are?" That is not a Rusty problem. That is the universal week 1 experience for basically every single person who has ever tried to build something online. Everyone.
So, you felt that too?
Absolutely. I remember sitting there thinking I must be missing something, like everyone else seems to get this, and I'm just not wired for it. And the worst part is you're watching these videos of people going, "I made $3,000 in my first week," and you're sitting there having made nothing, and you start to wonder if you're just not cut out for it.
Yes! Exactly that.
But here's what I eventually figured out, and this took me longer than it should have. Those first week success stories, they're almost never actually week 1. They're week 1 of that particular thing after years of learning other things. You know, the guy who made $3,000 his first week selling digital products had already spent 2 years learning how to build an audience. His week 1 looked exactly like yours.
They just don't mention that part.
They never mention that part because I struggled for 2 years and then things started clicking, doesn't get clicks. But that's the real story for most people. And that's the story we're going to tell on this channel because I think you deserve the honest version.
I appreciate that, actually.
So let me ask you something, Rusty. When you were working at your job, whatever that was, did you walk in on day 1 and immediately know everything you needed to know?
No, obviously not.
How long before you felt like you actually knew what you were doing?
I don't know. Months, probably. Maybe longer.
Right? And nobody thought you were stupid for that. Nobody said, "Rusty's been here 3 weeks and he still doesn't have it all figured out. Guess he should quit." That was just called learning the job. Building an online income is the same thing, except nobody gives you that grace because all you see online is the highlight reel. So you measure your week 1 against someone else's year 3 and wonder why you're behind.
When you put it that way, it sounds obvious.
It sounds obvious, but it doesn't feel obvious when you're in it at 10 o'clock at night wondering why nothing's working yet. Trust me, I know.
So, what actually changed for you? Like, what was the thing that made you keep going instead of quitting?
Honestly, I stopped measuring by money and started measuring by progress. Because in the beginning, there's no money or very little. But there is progress. You figured out how to set up an account. That's progress. You published your first piece of content. That's progress. You learned one new tool. That's progress. And if you're only watching your bank account in week one, you're going to quit every time because the bank account doesn't move until a lot of those small progress moments have stacked up.
Okay, but how do you actually stay motivated when the progress feels so small? Like, I learned how to click a button is not exactly thrilling.
No, it's not. But let me reframe that. You didn't just learn how to click a button. You took a step that the version of you from a month ago wouldn't have even known existed. And if you take one step like that every single day, just one, in 30 days, you're 30 steps further than you were. In 90 days, you're somewhere completely different.
I guess I was expecting it to feel bigger.
Everyone does, and that's actually the trap. We've been conditioned by every income video on YouTube, by every ad we see, to expect fast results, big results. And when reality shows up looking small and slow, we think something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Small and slow is exactly how every real thing gets built.
So, what's a realistic small win to look for in week one?
Great question. Week one, small wins look like you picked one thing to focus on instead of 10. You set up your account or your profile. You watched one tutorial all the way through and actually took notes. You told one person what you're trying to build. Any one of those, that's a real week one. That's further than the people who watched the video and never started.
What about people who've been watching videos about this stuff for months and still haven't started anything?
We see you, and we're not judging, but we're going to gently say, at some point, watching stops being research and starts being avoidance, and the only thing that actually moves the needle is doing the uncomfortable thing and starting, even badly, even slowly, even when you have no idea if it's going to work. So, what actually changed for you this week because you didn't quit?
No, I didn't quit. Although I thought about it pretty seriously.
What stopped you?
Honestly, I thought about what I was going back to. Like, okay, I quit this. Then what? Then I just sit here, watch TV, wait for something to happen. And nothing's going to happen. Nothing ever just happens. And I thought I might be confused and I might be slow at this and I might feel a little stupid sometimes. But at least I'm trying something. At least something is different.
That right there, that is worth more than any tactic or tool or shortcut I could ever give you.
What is?
That decision, the decision that doing something uncomfortable beats doing nothing comfortable, that is the actual foundation. Everything else is just steps.
When did you get so wise?
I've had a lot of week ones, Rusty. Look, if you're watching this and you're in your own week one right now, or your week three, or your week 8, and you still haven't seen the results you hoped for, I want you to hear this. You are not behind. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not too far from tech savvy. You are exactly where you're supposed to be for where you are in the journey. The only people who don't make it are the ones who stop, and you haven't stopped. You're still here. That matters more than you know. Rusty and I are going to keep showing up on this channel every week, showing you exactly what we're trying, what's working, what isn't, and what we're learning. No highlight reel, just the real thing. If that sounds like the kind of channel you want to follow along with, hit subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it means you won't miss what's coming next week.
Which is.
We're going to talk about something that paid me on a Tuesday morning before I even finished my coffee.
Okay, that actually sounds interesting.
I thought you'd say that. We'll see you then.
Don't make me wait too long.